Two agents and former lovers must work together to stop a cyber attack threatening the UK. Let's talk about Apple TV Plus's Liaison. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the Apple TV Plus series Liaison. This is streaming all episodes right now. It stars some names and faces you may know, including Vincent Cassel, who played the director in Black Swan. He's been in a ton of things. And then Eva Green, who has popped up in many things as well. Penny Dreadful, and she was Miss Peregrine in that film. What was it, Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children or whatever. But she was in, I think, one of the Sin City movies. So she pops up in a lot of different places. But anyway, they play these two agents in this show, and former lovers who now have to work together and not only try and stop this cyber attack, but also sort of figure out their relationship, unpack some things, maybe not said over the years or what have you. All right, so before I launch into my thoughts on this TV show, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews to check out here on the channel. Please consider subscribing down below as well, or just like this video, share it on your socials, comment below. All that stuff does help the channel out. Okay, so Apple TV Plus, I am, for the most part, a fan of their stuff. I think it's, for the money, and the fact that they really have no previous content. They have no library content. It's all sort of new original programming. I think some of their stuff is right up there with the best of them. Obviously you've got Ted Lasso, but there's a ton of other good things on there. This is one of the worst shows that they've come out with, to sort of spoil my review a bit. It's bad. The worst show that I have seen on Apple TV Plus, and I've watched almost everything they've put out, is that show S.E.E. With Jason Momoa. That I gave a D to. That is the worst. But I'm telling you, this is not far off. For one thing, well, okay, I actually watched the first, maybe 10 to 15 minutes of this 3 different times. The first time I watched it, I was like, you know what? It's in a different language, so, you really do have to pay attention to the subtitles and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not feeling this right now. I'm going to come back to it. So then I watched it a second time, started it a second time, I should say. And then I just was like, am I not in the right frame of mind for this? Like, what? I found it to be very boring. I didn't care about anything that was going on. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not in the right frame of mind. I'm going to set it aside. And then I watched it a third time and I was like, I'm going to stick with it. And I watched the first 2 episodes of the series. And boy, it just didn't get any better. It's very boring. And I shouldn't say it's necessarily boring. It's a little bit interesting, but it is really like a patchwork of so many other thrillers, cyber terrorism shows and movies, from 24 to, Jack Ryan and just, all of the things that we've seen so many times before. It's absolutely bringing nothing new to the table. But in addition to that, the dialogue is very bad. They're speaking in sort of a way that I didn't find to be authentic, and I say this a lot about like M. Night Shyamalan movies, for example. He seems to write dialogue as if he's never heard humans speaking before. This is not quite that bad, but it's very like soap opera-esque, and I just didn't find it to be how people really talk or how people might talk in these situations. So that wasn't really speaking to me either. Now, I will say Vincent Cassel, he does a fine job. I'm not sure if I've ever seen him give a bad performance, and he's fine here with the material. But I will say Eva Green was a bit of a surprise because maybe she was never one of my favorites, but I always thought she was, a pretty decent actress. But after watching the first couple episodes and seeing, boy, she just is not taking to this material at all. And it's not well written. I'll give her that. But she just was not good here. And then I was thinking, oh, maybe there's a reason I haven't really seen her much lately. Like for a few years, she was kind of popping up all over the place. She had, 3 or 4 movies every year for couple of years. And she did Penny Dreadful and whatever. I never got to see that, but I know that was pretty popular. Um, and Miss Peregrine maybe was one of the last big things she did. That was years ago. And seeing her in this, I'm like, oh, maybe she stinks. And she's obviously beautiful, and so maybe she was given a lot of roles, because of her looks or whatever. But it just wasn't doing it for me, and as a result, they just didn't really have any chemistry together. So what are the positives here? I said it's not quite as bad as the Jason Momoa series, although um, it's it's probably going to get, I think, that same grade. But maybe there's a little bit of intrigue with the plots and all of that. But again, nothing new at all. Nothing that we haven't seen, 100 times over. So while there's a little bit of maybe positivity there, and with the Cassell performance, but the sets are very drab, and nothing is really eye popping. So this one did not do it for me. Apple TV Plus, one of their worst shows. I think there's plenty of great things to watch on there. I already said Ted Lasso, but the After Party is another great one. That's coming back, I think, very, very soon for season 2 if it hasn't started already. But this one is a miss for sure. If you want something like this, keep following Jack Ryan on was that Amazon Prime, or Jack Reacher. There's another one. I don't think he's quite a spy or whatever, but there's another one where the TV show I actually really liked. But yeah, this one was not doing it for me. I'm going to leave Liaison with a D. If you are interested, all the episodes are streaming now on Apple TV Plus. Watch it, at your own risk, at your own boredom. But that will do it. Thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.